just follow us, okay? So you need your hands and you need your thighs. So just make yourself comfortable. थोड़ा सा अगर पीछे करनी है अपनी chair, and then you just have to follow the beat, okay? We're gonna start. You'll do as we do. 1, 2, 3, start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 3. So we're gonna do this till the time we don't get a singular beat. Okay? We can start again. So ये जो जगह है ये गूंजनी चाहिए हमारी इस बीट के साथ. Okay? And we have 3 steps to this, and it will get more difficult. So this is the simple one. So ये तब तक होता रहेगा, हो सकता है next 2 घंटे यही हो अगर एक बीट नहीं आएगी, because the whole idea of doing this is alignment, right? So I want that this place should echo with the beat of what we are about to do. Okay? So everybody has to join. Ready? We start again. So I'll just tell you it's 5 times idhar and then this. Okay, we start now. Okay, next. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can we do it? Okay, I'll go slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's too easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and now some fun. Like, is anyone feeling cold? Or you fine? Yeah, वैसे था, this was a musty one. You can get your rouged cheeks as well. So we go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? Okay, girls, your makeup won't go bad. Okay, we start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So welcome everybody. Before I started to speak, I wanted us to do something because like you all know, the format for today's event is performing arts. At one stage, we'll have visual arts as well, but today's event is with performing arts. So welcome everybody. This is the 9th edition of Returning to Love. I see a lot of familiar faces and I see a lot of new faces. Like a lot of you know, we started this in 2022 to create a safe space for people to come express. We did 8 of these editions, and after having people to share poetry and share different thoughts, we started to think कि इन सब चीज़ों का निचोड़ क्या है? Like how do you return to love? Because जब real life में चीज़ें आती हैं ना, जब problems आती है, when you have to take decisions in an organization, at home, and in relationships, so it's not easy, right? Do you all agree? It's not easy to tread on that path of love. So one of the answers, I'm not saying this is the only answer, but one of the answers that we found was that if people realize and celebrate their gifts in life. Now, what are gifts? We'll come to that. If people realize and celebrate their gifts, then it is easy to operate and respond from a space of love. So that is where this whole idea, emerged. This theme came in, which is celebrating our gifts, which we are going to do today. I spent the last year studying a lot of behavior transformation theories. I did a few courses and I've been doing this for a long time. And one of the things that I've learned, and you will all agree to that, is like when something is done in a way, like when we use arts as a language, as a transformational tool, then it is more memorable and people get it. People get the message. तो मैं यहाँ खड़े होकर बहुत कुछ बोल सकती हूँ. I'm sure जो मैं बोल रही हूँ वो सबसे least impactful होगा क्योंकि मैं बोल रही हूँ. But जो act किया है वो आपके पास रहेगा, right? So this whole idea of doing this warm-up activity in the beginning was, to feel a singular heartbeat in the room. So, right? So today, we all have different heartbeats, but what brings us all together, yeah, is our collective energy. So this is how the idea of returning to love was born. We have here with us Mr. Utkarsh Dabhade. He's the managing director of Goa Miles and All Miles. What he's doing differently is that he is creating a model of entrepreneurship, and he's giving them wings to fly. But this whole idea is in the philosophy of love and trust. And that's the beauty of, what Utkarsh is doing. Can we play the video, the Goa Miles video?
Go, 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 Goa Miles. Smiles, smiles for every mile.
बस के बाइक के गोवा माइल्स, रिक्शा के टैक्सी के गोवा माइल्स,
Goa Miles, Goa Miles.
चलिया चलिया गोवा माइल्स, चलिया चलिया गोवा माइल्स. It's miles, miles, every miles. It's miles, miles, every miles. फोन पे है अब गोवा माइल्स, हर फोन पे है अब गोवा माइल्स. Every mode of travel गोवा माइल्स, हर रोड पे है अब गोवा माइल्स.
Goa Miles, Goa Miles. Solia, Goa Miles.
Thank you so much, Anika. It's a really great energy and my pleasure to be here today. This ethos of this program is, how best we can reciprocate to the love or, the affection, right? And as a country, we have contributed immensely into technology. But somehow I feel that adopting the technology is a double-edged sword. And somewhere we lose the ethos of sustainability. And that's what I want to, abolish from technology implementation. And the ethos of my implementation is that how best, rather creating the laborers, we can create the entrepreneurs over there, and we solely fund them. It's not a single penny they need to put from their pocket. So I take as a risk over there as initiative in Goa and as a sustainable economy.
Our next voice of inspiration here is Alankrita Sahai, and a lot of you may know her. She's the first Indian to get 7 titles at the Miss Earth that happened in Philippines in 2014. She's an actress and also model. I don't know if you know what the meaning of Alankrita is. So Alankrita means decorated lady. And when I say decorated, it's really someone who's beautiful inside and outside. From the time that I've known her, every conversation with her, and we've exchanged a lot of voice notes and text, it's so full of love. And she's so humble, and she's real. That's what I like about her. Very, very real and authentic. So thank you so much, Alankrita, for coming. And I'll also like to welcome here Ambassador Chimpare. If I have pronounced it right, I call him Prabhu, sorry. So that's what I'm more used to. He's the ambassador of Zimbabwe. So thank you so much, sir, for being here as well. And one very special guest here is my grandfather, 91-year-old Dadaji. He's made the effort also coming here. So thank you, Dadaji, for being here.
I would say namaste, hola and hi. My name is Alankrita Sahai. A very happy new year to all of you, and of course, Makar Sankranti. When I spoke with her and she contacted me for this beautiful organization that we are here with people who come from various sects and who come from various places in their life, where the topic was celebrating your gifts and returning to love. So I believe that if one individual shines the light on another person, that legacy continues because they keep shining the light to another person, and another person. And towards the end of your life, when there are empty email boxes, no more frenzy, crazy lists, and no more things to do, the only thing that you can actually remember is how many people you really loved and how many people loved you back. Because at the end of the day, returning to love, your integrity, your dignity, your grace, your wisdom comes from the very core of celebrating your uniqueness. Your fingerprint is the only unique part that you all have, and your gifts. So when you share them, when you have creative outlets to celebrate each individual, it leads to a more harmonious, a more engaging, a more kinder, empathetic society. Seeing all these wonderful people here today, I can only say that you all are made from love, are love, and are here to give love. So thank you so much for embracing us and giving us your time. Thank you so much once again.
And in the meantime, I'll introduce you the format of today's event. So, our gifts give us three things. They give us joy, they give us meaning, and they give us connection. Okay? So, the format of the event is we are going to have performances in these three sectors. Here, please. For people who couldn't see our two beautiful voices of inspiration, I wanted them to come on stage. And so, from all of us. Let's get a picture together. Come. Okay, so in the joy segment, our first act, hello Auntie. Our first act, Neeru Mehta. I want everybody to see this gorgeous lady here. She's a lyricist. She's got magic with words, and she was writing from a very, very young age, right? From her school days, since forever. And she wanted her lyrics, to be seen by, the industry in Bollywood. She went to Bombay, but there were rejections there, as it is, there's a lot of struggle there. So, you know what she did? She didn't give up. She said, okay, नहीं कोई सुन रहा तो मैं अपने आप म्यूजिक कंपोज कर लेती हूँ. तो formal training नहीं थी म्यूजिक में, but she decided she gave it a go at music, and she started composing her songs. And then she's like, I पहले उनको था कि I want to hear my lyrics. Then she was like, I want to see my music. So then she also went into video production. She's like, okay, let's see how that goes. She's released her first song now. Yes, it's called Dil Sajja.
Dil Sajja is a joyous expression. It's a joyous journey of a bride as she's walking towards a bridegroom. The tumultuous excitement that she goes through. With wings on her heart and stars in her eyes, she embarks on her journey to paradise. So my journey also started very late in life. But destiny had somehow ordained its flight. And now that I've discovered my wings, it's not only just my heart that sings, but it's as though my whole being is all the time playing string. Dil diya chota dil hi jaane, main jaanu ya Rab mera jaane. Dil diya chota dil hi jaane, main jaanu ya Rab mera jaane. हंजू टप टप गिरते रहंदे, डुबिया दिल पर तरना न जाने. दिल दिया छोटा दिल ही जाने, मैं जानू या रब मेरा जाने. So as we go along in life, in this journey, we all play our roles. But I think it's so important to find your gift. मुझे मेरी मिल गई है. I hope that I have inspired all of you to find yours. Along the journey, try and find your gift. Thank you so much, lovely audience. Thank you.
Next, we have with us someone also who finds a lot of joy in doing what he does. But you have to know how old was he when he decided that this is what brings him joy. He was 7 years old. And you know what he told his parents? I don't want to go to school because I'm not learning anything new there. And imagine parents, where are the parents? Pehle to unko shabashi deni hai meko. For having that trust in the child, in his abilities. So they looked for, while a lot of us in the Delhi circle look for which school to go, and there's so much of thought around that, letting a child shine and explore his talents. So Harjas, please come. I want people to see you. Actually, the father, sir, what's your name? Dashleen, where are you? Dashleen, the mother. Yes, please. I want people to see you as well. So they did unschooling and homeschooling for Harjas. This happened for 4 years. And he promised them that I won't see television and all of that. And he kept his promise. and he made a lot of interesting electronic gadgets. His favorite one is a power bank, which he'll show you. He created that power bank. He created a water dispenser. He created gas lighters. He did crazy things. He can fix anything at home, you know. So thank you. Like, you are such a huge inspiration also, Darshleen. And so I'll invite you on the stage for everybody to. Taranjeet and Darshleen. Parents ko pehle credit de dete hai na. This is my star, the youngest star here. So he's created a model today that he's going to share with you. So Harjas, I'll give you the mic and I'll let you take over from here.
So as we are returning to love today and celebrating our gifts, my definition of love and gift is Jin Prem Kiyo, Tin Hi Prab Payo. The one who cannot see God in all, cannot see God at all. This is my project. This is the light which basically dances according to what is going all around here. Guru Nanak Ji's vision helped me realize the true meaning of love. The lights, as you can see, I have named them music reactive lights. So these lights basically dance according to what is the noise around it. So yeah, I have used some electronic components in this, like the LEDs, amplifier, etc., to amplify the sound signals around it and get it to express, like the LEDs express that signals. And thanks to you all.
Our next very special guest here, Tasneem Fatima. So a little story about Tasneem as well. Tasneem is my friend from this Australia-India Youth Dialogue. We are all a part of that. I lived in Australia for a couple of years. So Tasneem has always been a huge inspiration every time I see her. But I only got to know her story very late. So she had a spinal cord injury at the age of 23. So, you know, this was not something, it takes a lot of time to come to terms with that kind of an injury and to know that you won't be able to walk again. She was in the hospital, right, when your brother, her brother's into sports, so is mine. My brother's here too. So her brother's into sports, and he said, you know what, this is not the end of the world. And there were some kids playing basketball on wheelchair. So he said, let me take you there. And she's like, I've never played sports. How can I do this? So he's like, chal, batata hu. Same like how Sima would tell me. So Tasneem started with that at the age of 23. She was working with Google at the time. You were working, she was was working with Google at the time. And then ma'am is today a nationally acclaimed wheelchair basketball player, and she has also started her association, Delhi Wheelchair Association, where she supports a lot of people like herself, and she's full of life, and she's also been, our Prime Minister tweeted her, and she's got a lot of interesting awards as well. But what she's coming, so it was a bit of a challenge because I told her the format of the event is performing arts. I'm the only person who talks and our voices of inspiration. You're not allowed to talk. So she's like, kya kare? And she came with the brilliant idea of doing her first sit-down comedy act. And so Tasneem is going to share that today.
What do you think could be the best song for someone in a wheelchair? Any guesses? Anybody? Yeah, best song for someone in a wheelchair. Yeah, best song. Okay, I'll tell you. आज कल पाँव ज़मीं पर नहीं पड़ते मेरे, बोलो देखा है कभी तुमने मुझे उड़ते हुए? Thank you. So life in a wheelchair could seem very serious to some people. I know your first instinct after looking at me in a wheelchair was to push my wheelchair and help me in some way, right? I know, don't lie. Well, you can approach me. don't be hesitant, but I have only 2 requests if you really want to help me. I'm looking for a luxurious villa with a wheelchair-friendly restroom and a spacious car to accommodate my 2 wheelchairs with an escort, because I'm never alone. Easy, right? Now you want to approach me? Okay, so back in my childhood, I learned never to sympathize with people but to empathize, like dolphins do. And when I was young, my parents also said the same thing, and that perspective stayed with me forever, kind of. So I was at this cafe, and this lady approached me. I was enjoying my coffee, and out of nowhere she comes to me and she started sympathizing with me. She said, "Oh, how can that happen to a beautiful girl like you?" And she said, "Beautiful girl like me." I was not sure if I have to, take it as a compliment or just as a comment. So I said, "Exactly right. Let me show you how this happened." And I pushed her down a different path, wheelchair accessible one to be precise. And now she's also rolling around in a wheelchair like me, and we have become best friends. So we have a lot of medical jargons related to different mobility issues. Like, I'm a paraplegic, and the other day I bumped into my quadriplegic friend, and no, he doesn't have 4 legs or 4 hands. Turns out quadriplegic just means that he's a person first and not any octopus, please. So anyway, my friend actually got selected for this Khelo India Para Games that happened recently in Delhi, and he brought his VIP escort to the games. And guess what happened? His escort got so sick that my friend literally had to pack all his stuff and drive him back to his home. And I was just trying to figure out if he needed an escort or he accidentally became one. Be the change you want to see in this world. Okay. So another very interesting thing happened when my friends planned a reunion at the mall. And I was driving my car, accompanied by another friend in a wheelchair. So we entered the mall's parking, and I asked the security guard for the disabled parking. He said, "What?" I said, "Bhaiya, handicap parking." He said, "अच्छा, आपके साथ जो है उन्हें wheelchair चाहिए." I said, "नहीं भैया, हमारे पास हमारी खुद की wheelchairs हैं." So he said, "अच्छा, तो आप एक काम करिए, इन्हें यहाँ उतार दीजिए और आप अपनी गाड़ी आगे वहाँ पार्क कर दीजिए." I said, "भैया, but मैं भी wheelchair पर हूँ." And then comes the really classy question that he really shouldn't have asked me. And I think some of you saw it coming already. He said, "आप गाड़ी कैसे, how चला सकते हैं?" And I couldn't resist myself anymore. And I showed him exactly how. Now he is also looking for the disabled parking in the same mall. So apparently we Indians are so unaware about the accessibility and capabilities of someone in a wheelchair that it's time that we show them like how to do things in a wheelchair, right? Okay, now here comes the next one. So I was sitting outside my home, and my neighbor uncle approached me. He said that he saw someone donating some wheelchairs in the hospital, and he wanted to do the same thing. So as they say, charity begins at home, and who knew being the neighbor could come with such perks, right? So I said, "Well, that's a very nice gesture, uncle. You want to help me?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Okay." So I was looking for some sponsor to help me with the sports wheelchair that I need. So let me send you the quotation, wheelchairs quotation. And thank you so much for doing this. It's such a noble cause. And guess what? It's been more than 2 months. I think he has given up on the idea after reading the quotation of 4 lakhs. Oops, with 5% GST only. Okay. So, little disclaimer that all these jokes मैंने पहले अनिका को सुनाए अंडर ऑब्जर्वेशन क्यों आने का, राइट? एंड आई होप कि आप लोग इस हाउ का जवाब मेरी तरह कभी ना दें लाइफ में. ओके, सो कम्स द लास्ट जोक. व्हाट डू यू थिंक, what is the best part of being in a wheelchair according to you? Any guesses? Yeah, and we don't have to stand in a queue. How wonderful is that? I mean, I made some really cool friends because of that. And I feel that Wheels could be the ultimate VIP pass to friendship. So, I'd like to conclude it this session with a few Baba Bulle Shah's lines. And by the way, these all incidents that I shared with you were inspired by real life madness I've undergone, but not I've just twisted them. So, okay, so the Baba Bulle Shah's lines for all of you are ना कर बंदिया मेरी मेरी ना तेरी ना मेरी ये दुनिया 4 दिना दा मेला फिर मिट्टी दी ढेरी ढा दे मंदिर ढा दे मस्जिद ढा दे जो कुछ ढैंदा बस एक बंदे दा दिल ना ढावी मैं सुनिया रब दिलाए च रहिंदा. Thank you everyone. That's my time. And I hope you really enjoyed it, because if you didn't, karma is coming your way. Thank you. Thank you everyone.
Thank you so much. That was really nice. Yeah. And it was the first time. I think she was a pro. लग नहीं रहा था बिल्कुल भी first time है. Thank you, Tasneem. So, today's event is special also because it's not just realizing your gift, but also finding some new ones, right? So, we'll take a little pause here because we finished with our first segment, which was joy. And I'll have Utkarsh and Alankrita to also share their reflections. But I want you to take 30 seconds to turn to the person sitting next to you, because a lot of people said that you're giving platform to people to perform, right? People who you've been watching right now. Let me tell you, this is not about giving them a platform. These guys are enablers. The focus is on your journey. So the whole idea is that you go back from here thinking, what are your gifts? So they are helping us to get there. So can we take 10 seconds, 20 seconds just to little think about this? And in the meantime, I'll pass the mic to them. And any sharing from the audience as well, anything that you want to say? Because after each segment, we're going to have this pause. So right now, we finished with joy. Did you feel joy in all of them, all 4 acts? You did? Okay. Anyone wants to say anything?
Give me the courage that yes, it is just a number that we have been listening in the entire lifetime. Believe me, yes, indeed it is. Why I'm saying this? Because at the age, it's just, we have beat up a little bit battery, but it's just, you're growing with old, you're getting here. But what about the joy? What about the meaning? What about the beauty? We have never been taught about it. We say learn from the nature. That's the dignity.
Anika, thank you so much for bringing that purpose to so many people's life. The joy, the meaning. From the core of my heart, the love to love. Thank you so much.
So, I'm writing this in my diary and of course in my phone, because there's so many things to speak about. Fatima, I must say, authentically, you are the bravest women I have met. This year I've met so many. I lost my father 2 years ago, and it was a really dark phase for me. And the last 2 years, the kind of people I have met have only channeled my inner source, my inner being, and my inner phoenix. And to be honest, you're like a phoenix. You rose from your ashes, and you are killing it. And someone messes with you, you dribble the ball on their face. Yeah. And Harjas, you are going to be the next Einstein. So don't stop at anything. Keep rising, keep shining, keep glowing, keep making people dance to your beats and your music and your lightning and thunder, because that's who you are. When you strike like a lightning bolt, no one's coming your way. Just keep marching ahead. And Meeru ma'am, I just want to say that is another force of empowerment. I think women empowering each other at this age and stage.
मेरे दादाजी हमेशा कहते थे, बेटा जीवन का भवसागर बड़ा मुश्किल है पार करना. सब एक दूसरे का हाथ पकड़ के चलेंगे तो कभी तुम लड़खड़ाओगे, कभी वो लड़खड़ाएंगे, पर मिलजुल के पार हो जाएगा. And whenever, Anika, I come to this returning to love, I feel that it's a platform for all of us to become the platform for all of us. That's how I see it. That हम सब एक दूसरे के प्लेटफॉर्म बनते हैं यहाँ का, और वही चीज़ सीखते हैं कि एक दूसरे का प्लेटफॉर्म बने, एक दूसरे का दुख सुख शेयर करें और मिलजुल कर इस जीवन रूपी भवसागर को पार करें. That's the feeling I always get from it, and it's very overwhelming and amazing. Thank you, Anik.
Okay, so now we come to the next segment, which is meaning. So do you all agree our gifts give us meaning? They give meaning to our life. And the first person we have here is Kuwaraj. He's really good with his research, and he's always been great with giving tips to people about finance and travel. But can you think of a career from that? You're just like, okay, yeah, you're good at it. You know, you are a financial pedia, so to say. But do you make a career out of it? You know, and it's hard for people to believe that. But this guy did it. He's got 1 million followers now, and he's a sensation on internet, and people actually follow him for his finance and travel tips. He's the founder of this company called Unfinance. So I'll invite you to please come. You've really made us so proud in the family. We keep calling him ab kya karna hai and all that. So thank you for being that person that we can count on.
Hi guys, my name is Kuwaraj and I'm going to be talking about money. But do you guys know that 80% Indians run out of the salary before month end, and 30% of us cannot or do not invest. Parallelly, we live in a country where people are ashamed because they think they don't earn enough money, which is not correct, because money is really not everything. But money does give us the freedom to live the life we want, or do things that we like, or sort of have that luxury. I'll give you two scenarios. Imagine you're making 30 lakhs a year and you have a loving spouse, you have children who admire you, your health is fine, and you have a clear conscience of mind. Versus you're earning 1 crore a year, but you have none of that. I think 99 or 100% of the people would choose less money here. But whenever you have a promotion, or you get a bonus, or you earn a lot of money in terms of profit from selling of a property or something like that, do not increase your lifestyle in the same ratio. Money is it's a paradox. Having money reduces stress and anxiety, but having more money increases your stress and anxiety.
So with that, we come to our next act. But yeah, the pause in Kuwar's talk was this: if you can make a career from this, you can make a career from a lot of things. The whole idea of inviting Kuwar to the stage was to help you also think about your journey. So everywhere, please, I'm requesting one thing: you will make today's time of yours more worthwhile if you pause. Pause. Don't mechanically watch things. Don't mechanically hear things. Pause at every act. What it means for you. Okay. So next we have with us another young talent, Sarah. I met Sarah when she was 13, yes. And she's so full of talent. Like, she paints, she writes. She's been coming to Returning to Love. This is her 3rd or the 4th edition. And every time she has some new talent to share. She's very, very driven. Besides her school curricular activities that she does, she's also very passionate in starting a lot of other things. Right now, she started this project called Life Literacy Project. Ravi, it will resonate with what you're doing, that people are not getting the education that they need, the practical education. So, she's found a forum, a platform for people to get the real skills. She interviews people, and then she creates bite-sized information about them, which is more easy to, grasp. So this is what Sarah is to me. Somebody who's always innovating, and somebody who's always finding herself in different ways. So today she's coming to us with a beautiful dance. So she's a trained Indian classical dancer, and she's also learning jazz. So she's combined it in her own way, these two forms of dancing.
Very good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sarah, and I'm here at Returning to Love. I'm a firm believer that we as individuals have the ability to socially construct our reality and shape who we are and what we see. And so last spring, when I took a trip Ganga Kinare to the banks of the Ganges, I didn't see water. I saw a dance and how the water whirled and waved right from the top of the mountain onto here at our feet.
Next, we have another very special and a young talent with us, Shreya Saxena. She's an international rifle shooter. It took me a little while to process this because I was like, oh, I'm peace-loving. I don't want to, have this act, and, I wanted to connect Dil Se with it. And then it occurred to me as I spoke to her that what does this sport teach you is really to be present. Right? That to really be in that moment. And that was my connect. I was like, now it makes sense, So that was the thing. And Shreya, can I share the miracle of returning to love in your life? Okay. So she was a bit hesitant. Will I be able to do it? What am I going to do? Performing act, and because there's this thing, you have to do it through an act, right? Or an activity. So she wanted to back out. I was like, no, but the concept is beautiful. We've been chatting for a while. And then just yesterday, she was calling me. And
I hope everyone would like to know how I feel when I shoot. And I'll make you go through a guided meditation, but in a form where you can be in the present moment and see how you feel at that time. I would request everyone to close your eyes. Join your hands, rub them, and place it on your eyes. I want all the smiles, how you have felt. I want those smiles to be seen right now. And you can smile as much as you want, because this is life. This is what is love. This is how we return to love. And this is how I feel every time when I shoot. Wanted to wear my kit, but this is how, like a demo, this is the canvas which I wear every time. Whether it's 33 degrees, 40 degrees, or, in this cold. Of course, we prefer wearing this all the time for the number of hours we practice. But this is the beauty of my sport. And I think it's all in our mind. If we can, direct ourselves to what we love, what we want to do. The expectations, the expectations which we have from the world, we won't be having that anymore. All we would be wanting to make others happy in front of us through our passion, through what we love, and through what we can do. And this is me practicing. So I practice in Karni Singh Range, Tughlakabad. And if you can see from outside, from when anyone looks at us, people often say that, shooting, rifle shooting sport, or for that matter, the whole sport, is there is no action happening. But this is the kind of action which we tend to have from within, and that's how we channelize and get into the barrel every time when we are shooting. And there is also a video of, I think, maybe it would be played. My sister is making me not to forget how I take my position.
Thank you so much,
Shreya. That was really beautiful. You took us to that moment where you are always. So thank you for that experience. Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to have a little workshop. So we have with us Shilpi Pratap, my dear friend, beautiful inside out. So she's here and she paints and she's got her work which is exhibited world over. She's here today as a facilitator though. She's an educator as well and she works a lot in classrooms to have art integration and unveiling creativity in classrooms. I think if we have more of that, even academics would become easier, right? So that's the whole point of that. And she's going to do something called concrete poetry.
So like Anika told you, my name is Shilpi. I'm an artist. I, of course, love to create art. I also am an educator. I love to teach. But what I like a lot is connecting people with art. And what I love even more is connecting people with themselves through art. So today what I'm going to do is connect you all with yourself through concrete poetry. Let's go to the slides, please. Yeah, Himanshu? Slides. Wonderful. So exploring concrete poetry with, that's my name, Shilpi. So what is concrete poetry? Very briefly, I have 5 minutes to tell you what concrete poetry is, and then we'll all start creating our own concrete poems over here together. And we'll also hopefully have the time to share a little. So this, my name, for instance, is written in a style of concrete poetry, Shilpi, okay? And it goes shh, or Shilpi emerging from a shh, you know? So it could be perceived as both or understood as both, yeah? It could be Shilpi dissolving into silence, nothingness, yeah? Neti, 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 like we say. Or it could be Shilpi emerging from something, you know, from that nothing. From nothing to everything, Anand Brahman, something like that. Can we move to the next slide just to get a little bit, yeah. Another example of concrete poetry. Ego. Very simple. We all understand this word. What is ego? What does it do? What does ego do to us? What does ego do to us? It's a question open to everybody. Ruins everything. Ouch. Yeah. We also need to have a little bit of it, but yeah. But ego creates the other. There's a sense of self, and of course, when there is too much ego, where that came from, very right. Ego separates. Ego is a thing that separates us. So concrete poetry is a verbi voco visual medium. So you see ego and then just separation. How simple is that? Just by looking at this, today the concrete poetry I'm sharing with you is all aligned with the intellect also. Otherwise, concrete poetry, जैसे painting में हम लोग lines use करते हैं, colors use करते हैं, वैसे ही concrete poetry में we use alphabets as forms, you know, to use and create art. Let's move to the next slide, please. What are the two words that you can read over here?
Existence and appearance.
Existence, thank you very much, beautiful lady. Existence and appearance. So when we shift, see today in this thing very beautifully, when I saw the shooter coming up, Shreya, I was expecting something else, right? Appearance is what we base our understanding on. But when our focus shifts from appearance to existence, the experience of life becomes richer. I know that is not good. Yeah. All right, could we move to the next slide, please? Conversations. This one is very much inspired by what's happening at RTL right now. Except for the little baby over here. We are all talking about the same things, right? We're talking about joy, we're talking about meaning, we're talking about gifts, we're talking about purpose, but we're all talking about it through different sources over here. There are artists talking, there are poets talking, there are singers talking, models talking, entrepreneurs talking. So we're all saying that one thing, the language of love, returning to love, but in different ways. Okay, next slide, please. And this is another kind of conversation which we are all used to, the conversation that goes to the infinity, the sweet little nothings of lovers or friends. You know, when we talk, often we say, oh, how did you know? I was thinking about this, you're saying that. You know, so many times that happens. So this is that conversation of infinity. And next slide, please. And this is conversation breakdown. itna sara adan pradan, fir bhi sab pareshan. Nothing's going in. Yeah, I'm doing my thing, I'm speaking Greek, you're speaking Latin, not happening. Connection not happening. So why I chose this is just to understand how the same word can visually be represented in different ways just using concrete poetry. Simple? Simple this is, right? All right. Next slide, please. So words is a very powerful thing, right? It can shatter, it can flatter. Words are very, very strong things, and they can pierce and create conflict, and they can also create love. They can create light, right? Next slide, please. Yeah, so today, this chase of words, which we constantly are engaged in from a very young age, we use this chase. Often, this is an extraneous journey. Today, we are going to be using words to look within. Not superiority, not inferiority. I love the term interiority. So we are going to be looking within ourselves through words. Next slide, please. Before even alphabet becomes a whole alphabet, it still has a space in existence. Next slide, please. When the alphabets come together and create a word, there is something deeper inside that word. Next slide, please. And when words come together, when all these words come together, they again have a zillion meanings that can be put together. I am. I am. I am in the noise. I am in the music. I am in the silence. I'm a zillion different things, right? So today, we are going to look into what you are, right? We're going to do that now together. Everybody understands what concrete poetry is, I trust. Let's take an example of what we're going to do today. Next slide, please. Yes, that's me again. I'm not so self-obsessed. I'm just trying to tell you what this is because we need to go through this very quickly. So we have these beautiful diaries. Put up these notepads on the table, and we have a pencil. So what we're going to do first is we're going to write our name at the bottom. And then we are going to make some lines of movement coming out of it. The first one is a quality that you stand for, always. Something that you absolutely, absolutely believe in. Something that you bring to a place where you go to. I believe in beauty. And so I've written that over there. The second, and these are just suggestions that I'm giving. You can absolutely do what you like. The second is something that you love to do, you just love to do, where you are in the flow, where you forget desh, kal, patra, time, kuch yaad nahi rehta aapko. Yeah? So that is the second one. What is it? So of course, I like to do art. Yes, that is my thing. But it is something, some practice, something, some action that you love to do, which absolutely keeps you in the flow. The third is a creature or an object or a role that you would like to associate with. I'm a bird, main chidiya hu. I love that. I align with nature. I like to go home in the evening. So many things. They don't accumulate. Lovely things. And then the fourth is a collective aspiration for the world around us. For me, that would be love. Let's move to the next slide, which will be more familiar because a lot of you over here know who Anika is. So this is my dedication for you, darling Anika, wherever she is. Anika? Yeah. So for Anika, what I understand is what she truly stands for is oneness. I've always seen her bringing people together, this unothering that she does with so much compassion. It's beautiful. The second thing that she loves to do and does so brilliantly well is RTL events, returning to love, even through little things that she does. The third is, if I were to think of a creature when I think of Anika, it would be a butterfly because I think she's beautiful. She wears beautiful butterflies also. And she's vulnerable, but she's extremely powerful, colorful, and she brings that joy. And the fourth would be what a collective aspiration I'm imagining for Anika would also be love for the world. Can we move to the next slide, last slide? All right. So now this is what we are going to do. These four are just simple suggestions. You may or you may not follow them. It's absolutely up to you. This is just, if there is one word which is coming to you very powerfully, just go with it. Let that unfold. If there are if you just want to write about creatures, just write for creatures. If you just want to write about feelings that you stand for, just write that. Just write your name at the bottom, and then the first line of movement, a quality you stand for. Be truth, celebration, resilience, blah, blah, blah. Whatever you stand for. These are just suggestions. The second, what brings you joy? What brings you joy? What gets you in the flow? It could be simplest things, yeah? And of course, I have put in those words because sometimes mind needs a little bit of direction. You need a little bit of push or pull here and there, yeah? And we have very little time also, that's why. Otherwise, I like these unfoldings to happen spontaneously through people with the energy that they are carrying. But right now, we're doing this. Are you also writing? I will come and watch. The third is the role, object, creature you identify with. What is it? What is it? You know, if it comes to you, good. If it doesn't come to you, you can let that be, because this needs a little bit of heuristic skills and associations. If you do not feel like that, you can just let that be. And the last is an expansive collective aspiration for the world. Let us all put that down. Let us all put that down, because I think that is the whole idea of all of us being a part of RTL over here. And understanding that, that sometimes we do not understand, at least I do, I find it difficult, it's confusing to understand what truth is in every situation in the present, but we do know how love feels like, and it feels good. And it's a good thing to create opportunities and places and spaces like this where you can give love out and take some love in, and just make it so simple and easy. That's so beautiful. So a collective aspiration for everybody. Let's put that down. And now whoever is ready with the poem can please come and share some also. Because this doesn't take, yeah. Would somebody like to share? Wonderful. Shreya, you just, you know, it was so wonderful to have you before me, by the way, because you absolutely centered everybody, and everybody was meditative, and that's where life sustains, and then celebration begins, no? Which happens only with art and poetry, by the way, I think, which is not true. Come. I'm biased. Come. Wow, you put that on your phone. Dexterity is involved in this, yellow.
I'll just speak out what the words. I stand for gratitude. What brings me joy is traveling. Shooting is part of traveling for me. And role, object, creature you identify with is ocean. And an expansive collective inspiration would be harmony. Yeah.
Coming from Mashuta, harmony absolutely taken. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Shreya. Thank you so much for sharing. Who else is coming and sharing? Nirvan, are you sharing something? All right. Anybody else wants to share?
Yeah.
Would you like to share?
I'm just finished. My name is so long. I'm like, okay, I'll go ahead with it though.
Yes.
A quality that I stand for is generosity. What brings me joy would be to travel the world, resonate with all sorts of people and cultures, and bring back home different experiences that are in my gut and my solar plexus and resonated with the people around me. A role, object, creature that I identify with, it's not here, but it's the phoenix. She rises no matter what, from her ashes every time. An expansive collective aspiration for me, can there be two, but it's probably one would be justice and love. Yeah, justice.
You're beautiful. Yes. So would you like to share also?
Definitely.
Yes, sir.
So this is a wonderful learning, you know. I never imagined that, you know, a concrete poetry can give a different perspective. Yeah. So I'm just putting my exercise, you know, looking at, you know, these 4 columns from technical perspective. So, right, the qualities stand for the definitely the kind of, you know, journey I'm doing now. It's resilience is the thing I stand for that. Right, and definitely my business domain is traveling, so I enjoy a lot traveling. So that makes me more happy. And a role object, you know, yes, I have a lot of love and affection with the mountains. So I identify as a mountain. Yeah, it's a strength. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And, you know, I'll say the expansive collection aspiration, that is, you know, the happiness which we can spread across, you know, or if you feel that, you can find happiness in others' happiness, right? So that's what I stand for. Thank you.
Who's keeping time? Who's keeping time? Would you like to share? Wonderful. Lovely baby. God, there's so many beautiful faces, right? Anika's event.
Oh my God. But you know what is happening is I had thought of one quality, but two have already been taken over. But there is one that I feel so special about, which is the one the gentleman used the word resilience. Because I think buoyancy in life is the biggest power you can have. It brings you back from every situation. You go home to the way you started life. You want to get there, be there, do it, be in charge, be in control. That is a wonderful feeling for me. It's so powerful, So that's the way I look at it. Well, because you see, I also have the joy that life brings to me is, for me, I'm a compulsive exerciser. To me, energy flow has to be as swift as the Ganga flowing from the Himalayas. When I exercise, I feel that energy. At that moment, I can talk to anybody. When I'm exercising, I break all barriers of age and gender, and they will come to me and they say, oh, why can't we have an inspirational talk from you? But I can only do it when the energy is correct. If I'm not surrounded with good energy also, I tend to sit back and reflect upon life. But my energy also comes to me from things like, I like this feeling of being high. I'm a cyclist actually. So I am 72 and I cycle 35 kilometers. So, don't tell me about it, but so for which I actually exit the house at 4:30 in the morning in the summertime because the sun, that, and then I also sing. I'm a classicist. So I have, music being part of the creativity of my soul, So it's a lovely blend of energy, emotion, emotion, expression of emotion to me is so important. And what I love is freedom. So for me to be a bird is a natural instinct. And over and above that, vibrancy. Every moment of life must throb and throb. And it can only come when the whole package is pure.
Such a brilliant share. You should have been over here. I should have been over there. So wonderfully shared. So beautiful, And Blake says energy is delight. And all I see is such beautiful energy coming from you. Thank you very much. I think that we have more lineups. So I'm sure everybody has. You want to share, Nirvan? Okay, I'll come and listen to you. Anika, who is keeping time? Do we have more time? We do have more time. Come, Nirvan. Come. Quickly. Yes. You just speak up the word.
A quality I stand for is creativity, and sketching brings me joy. And what's the next one? Object I relate to is a lion, and an expanse, collection, inspiration, joy.
Big hand for Nirvan. Thank you so much to the youngest concrete poet over here in this room. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you very much. And see what a beautiful portal this is. Art is such a wonderful thing. It creates these bridges. So please practice this. It's a beautiful practice. You can use this for journaling. Connect with art. It creates something inside you. It opens something up. So, and I truly believe it creates ways for returning to love in the most scenic ways also. So please do stay connected with art, and thank you all. Thank you very much. You've been a lovely audience.
सरसरी हम जहाँ से गुजरे वरना हर जान जहाने दीगार था.
Thank you so much. I have been very, very inspired by concrete poetry. So I'm glad that everybody got a little bit of a taste of what it can do for you, how it can help you to express more openly and differently and creatively. He calls himself Befikra Tejas, Befikra musician. So I love the term. I think you got my heart right there. You're 19, right? 20 now, okay. And what really intrigued me about him was the way this guy connects. There's this new trend on Instagram, POVs. Is everyone familiar with that? For my mom and the other generation who are not very so much on Instagram, POV's point of view. I'll let you expand on that. So he gives these different point of views and he creates music with it. And I love his page. There are a lot of singers out there, but the way he connects, that's why he's in the section of connection. The way he connects with people is amazing through his handle and also in real life. So be ready for magic coming up. Tejas.
Here what we are doing is, we are putting ourselves in a love story. We saw someone from a distance and we are just falling in love with them.
तुमको देखा तो ये ख्याल आया जिंदगी धूप तुम घना साया.
Now what happens is, आप time spend कर रहे हो. Now you are feeling that अब तो मुझे प्यार हो ही रहा है यार.
कैसे बताएं क्यों तुझको चाहे यारा बता ना पाए. बातें दिलों की देखो जो बाकी आके तुझे समझाए. तू जाने ना तू जाने ना मिल के भी हम ना मिले. तुमसे ना जाने क्यों मीलों के है फासले. तुमसे ना जाने क्यों अनजाने है सिलसिले. तुमसे ना जाने क्यों सपने हैं पलकों तले. तुमसे ना जाने क्यों.
Come on everyone.
कैसे बताए क्यों तुझको चाहे यारा बता ना पाए. हाँ बातें दिलों की देखो जो बाकी आके तुझे समझाए. तू जाने ना.
So now the sad part comes in. It's not working out. And you have to find, कि इसमें भी कुछ अच्छा ही है. It's not working out, so maybe you guys were not meant with each other. So you feel little depressed. You feel the loneliness. So the next song is
रंजिश ही सही.
So Ankita ma'am requested me this song.
रंजिश ही सही दिल दुखाने के रंजिश ही सही. फिर से मुझे छोड़ के जाने के लिए रंजिश ही सही. रंजिश ही सही.
So I'm a very believer that the God does everything to make you happy. ठीक है? So next part of my life was to go to God, ask for help, seek help. The next song is
सजरा सवेरा तेरे तन भर से गजरा अंधेरा तेरी जलती है. सजरा सवेरा तेरे दर पर मेरे ओ मौला मौला मौला. जब कहीं पे कुछ नहीं भी नहीं था वही था वही था वही था वही था. जब कहीं पे कुछ नहीं भी नहीं था वही था वही था वही था
लास्ट पार्ट इज, अब सब कुछ हो चुका है तो क्यों ना अपने आप से ही थोड़ा प्यार कर लो, है ना? सो आई वांट एवरीवन टू सिंग अलोंग विद मी. कैन आई हैव क्लैप्स? कम ऑन, 1 1 2 3.
जो दिल से लगे उसे कह दो हाय 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 हाय, जो दिल ना लगे उसे कह दो बाय 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 बाय. आने दो दिल में आ जाने दो, कह दो मुस्कुराहट को हाय 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 हाय. जाने दो दिल से चले जाने दो, कह दो घबराहट को बाय 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 बाय. 1 2 3. लव यू जिंदगी, लव यू जिंदगी, लव यू जिंदगी, लव मी जिंदगी.
ये हम पार्ट पे से रिपीट करेंगे, ठीक है? सबने गाना है एक साथ. 1 2 3.
जो दिल से लगे उसे कह दो, जो दिल ना लगे उसे कह दो बाय 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 बाय. आने दो क्लैप्स, दिल में आ जाने दो, कह दो मुस्कुराहट को हाय 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 हाय. जाने दो दिल से चले जाने दो, कह दो घबराहट को बाय 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 बाय. 1 2 3 4. Come on everyone. Love you जिंदगी, love me जिंदगी, love you जिंदगी, love me जिंदगी.
Thank you so much. That was our time. My name is Befikra Tejas. Alongside me, Jay Gawa. He's one of my best friends and a very good acoustic player. Thank you so much. That was my time. Thank you so much. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was really beautiful. You transported us somewhere else. और वो लव स्टोरी में शायद हम सबको अपनी कोई ना कोई स्टोरी मिली होगी कोई ना कोई गाने में. Thank you. Okay. So, can we get some support here on the stage to take this down? Bhaiya, aa jaओ. Okay, next we have with us a very special person. Her name is Sonia Om, and I know her from work, and she has this very special talent. इनको आप कोई भी word दो, and she'll create poetry out of it, like within seconds. So that has been her special talent. She would just look at someone, she'll have poetry in her head, and today she's written something which she wanted to share, but you can all put her to test. Yeah, we have her permission for that. Yes. Yes, so Sonia Om is here. Sonia Om. So I'll give the mic to you, and you're going to be tested also at some point in this act. Himanshu, can we have a slide? Sonia, slide, please.
Thank you so much. First, I would like to thank Anika for giving this platform. And another special vote of thanks is for Mr. Rajiv and Varun Chaudhary, and none other than Ms. Vineet Munish Gill, who has been listening me from almost a decade. And why it's Rajiv? Because he has been always pushing me. You should, you have, you can. And I would always say him, oh, let it be, ek din. And just me and Anika just ran into one another, and she said that event is just right the corner, and I want you to be in. I said, okay, I'll do spontaneous one. But the same time what happened was that I read someone's quote on the WhatsApp, and this entire poem is inspired by 2 lines. And the entire act, what we have been seeing here or listening here, you would, resonate with it. That is for sure by the end of this poem. So it's in Hindi. I hope that everyone understands. And if anywhere you feel like that it's going a little hayway, you can make me stop and ask the question if you want to. So here we go. And I hadn't named this poem till yet. So I would request the audience to give me a name, appropriate name for this poem. So here it goes. खुलकर रोने की आज़ादी भी ना मिली हमें, खुलकर रोने की आज़ादी भी ना मिली हमें, खुश होने का इतना दबाव था हम पर, खुश होने का इतना दबाव था हम पर। ज़िंदगी चल तो रही थी, ज़िंदगी चल तो रही थी, लेकिन कहीं ज़िंदगी जीना भूल गए थे हम। ज़िंदगी चल तो रही थी, लेकिन कहीं ज़िंदगी जीना भूल गए थे हम। दिल धड़क तो रहा था, दिल धड़क तो रहा था, लेकिन अपनी ही धड़कन सुनना भूल गए थे हम। खुलकर रोने की आज़ादी भी ना मिली हमें, खुश होने का इतना दबाव था हम पर कि ना जाने क्या क्या भूल गए हम। शिकवा नहीं है तुझसे ये ज़िंदगी, शिकवा नहीं है तुझसे ये ज़िंदगी, बस हम शिकायत करना भूल गए, बस हम शिकायत करना भूल गए। ना जाने क्यों इतना दबाव बना लिया, ना जाने क्यों इतना दबाव बना लिया कि उसके जाने के लिए दरवाज़ा खोलना भूल गए हम, कि उसके लिए जाने का दरवाज़ा खोलना भूल गए हम। सब और देखते रहे, सब और देखते रहे, बस अपने भीतर झांकना भूल गए हम, बस अपने भीतर झांकना भूल गए हम। औरों के आंसू पहुँचते पहुँचते, औरों के आंसू पहुँचते पहुँचते, अपने आंसू पहुँचना भूल गए हम, अपने आंसू पहुँचना भूल गए हम। ना जाने ज़िंदगी जीने के दबाव में हम कितने अपनों को ही भूल गए हम, ना जाने ज़िंदगी जीने के दबाव में कितने अपनों को ही भूल गए हम। आओ कुछ बदलते हैं, आओ कुछ बदलते हैं, किसी और को नहीं अपने भीतर अपने आप को ही बदलते हैं, किसी और को नहीं अपने भीतर अपने आप को बदलते हैं। इस दबाव ने बहुत कुछ सिखाया, इस दबाव ने बहुत कुछ सिखाया। आओ अब खुद को सिखाते हैं, आओ अब खुद को कुछ निखारते हैं। चंद लम्हे अपने आप को निहारते हैं, चंद लम्हे अपने आप को निखारते हैं। एक अरसा हो गया खुद को देखे हुए, एक अरसा हो गया खुद को देखे हुए, आज आईने के सामने खुद को संवारते हैं, आज आईने के सामने खुद को संवारते हैं। मुश्किल नहीं है, मुश्किल नहीं है ये नई शुरुआत करना, बस अपने साथ बैठकर दो घड़ी मुस्कुराते हैं, बस अपने साथ बैठकर दो घड़ी मुस्कुराते हैं। इस दबाव ने इंसानियत और शुक्राना सिखाया है, इस दबाव ने इंसानियत और शुक्राना सिखाया है। जानते हो क्यों? दिस इज़ अ क्वेश्चन फॉर ऑल ऑफ यू इन द ऑडियंस। जानते हैं क्यों? हम शिकायत बहुत करते हैं ज़िंदगी से कि ज़िंदगी ने मुझे ये नहीं दिया, वो नहीं दिया, और हमेशा मैं प्रेशर में रहा सो कॉल्ड। सो उसका जवाब है, अभी तक सवाल थे, अब जवाब है। सो हियर वी गो विद द आंसर्स। जानते हो क्यों? क्योंकि वो खुदा चाहता है, क्योंकि वो खुदा चाहता है कि तुम निखर जाओ, सवर जाओ, कि तुम निखर जाओ, तुम सवर जाओ, तुम ज़िंदगी की असली मायने समझ जाओ, कि तुम ज़िंदगी के असली मायने समझ जाओ। तुम इत्र की महक हो, तुम इत्र की महक हो, तुम हीरे की चमक से चमकते हो, तुम इत्र की महक हो, तुम हीरे की चमक से चमकते हो। तुम कहीं बिखर ना जाओ, तुम कहीं बिखर ना जाओ, इसलिए मालिक ने सोचा कि वो तुम्हें दबाव में रखे, इसलिए मालिक ने सोचा कि वो तुम्हें दबाव में रखे, क्योंकि उसके लिए तुम बहुत अजीज़ हो, उसके लिए तुम बहुत अजीज़ हो, उसके दिल के बहुत करीब हो, उसके लिए तुम बहुत अजीज़ हो, उसके दिल के बहुत करीब हो। तुम बातों से बहुत अमीर हो, तुम बातों से बहुत अमीर हो, तुम्हारी मुस्कुराहट बेशकीमती है, तुम्हारी आँखों में छलकता, तुम कितनों की दुआओं हो, कितने दर्द दिल की दवाओं हो। सोचो, तुम कितनों की दुआओं हो, कितने दर्द दिल की दवा हो। इसीलिए उसने तुम्हें चुना है, इसीलिए उसने तुम्हें चुना है, क्योंकि तुम खुद में ही, क्योंकि तुम खुद में ही खुद के लिए बहुत खास हो। तो ये that's it. So and thank you.
Can we put you to test? सोनिया, एक word हो जाए? एक काम करते हैं, मेरे पास एक idea है. 2-3 लोगों से word लेते हैं. 2-3 लोगों से word लेते हैं. You choose one. Okay?
Okay. Please
Okay.
go ahead. Anyone?
2-3 people can give a word. Okay, here.
Mine is a little bit of a phrase. प्यार की ओर लौटना.
प्यार की ओर लौटना. कशिश.
एक सेकेंड. कशिश और कश में कश. Okay, नहीं कोई connection.
Ehsas. Can I have a sorry? Can I have a pen? I'll write 3 words and then I'll just put all in one. And you have to give me 30 seconds for that, please. May I have a paper? So,
एहसास. प्यार की ओर. प्यार की ओर, right? प्यार की ओर लौटना. इबादत.
Okay. एहसास, प्यार की ओर लौटना, इबादत और एक और था
कशिश. यहाँ पे कोई म्यूजिक आना चाहिए, वो जो होता है ना 30 seconds का प्लेफुल म्यूजिक. ओके.
थैंक यू. उसकी आंखों में कशिश तो बहुत थी मेरे लिए. उसकी आंखों में कशिश तो बहुत थी मेरे लिए. बस मैं प्यार की ओर बढ़ता चला गया. उसकी आंखों में कशिश तो बहुत थी और मैं प्यार की ओर बढ़ता चला गया. एहसास उसने कुछ ऐसा दिलाया. एहसास उसने कुछ ऐसा दिलाया कि मैं खुदा की इबादत में और गिरता चला गया.
Wow. Wow, beautiful.
So
Thank
this
you
is
so
over
much.
here only. So if you ask me again, if it's not recorded, I don't remember it, and I'm being honest.
Yeah, every time she's written something for me, I'm like, yaar, wo bhejna. She's like, gaya. That's all. Yeah, no hidden chat GPT.
Okay, the last one is specially for Anika. Going back to love. मोहब्बत बहुत की मैंने. मोहब्बत ज़िंदगी में बहुत की मैंने. और ठुकराया भी गया बहुत. और ठुकराया भी गया बहुत. लेकिन उसके दर पे आके एक सुकून सा मिल गया. उसके दर पे आके एक सुकून सा मिल गया. उसने मुझसे पूछा ऐसा क्या मिल गया. उसने मुझसे पूछा ऐसा क्या मिल गया. क्या खुदा मिल गया. मैंने कहा नहीं. एक ऐसा इंसान मिल गया जो मुझसे मिला गया. एक ऐसा इंसान मिल गया जो मुझसे मिला गया. मेरी इबादत में उसने अपने रब को देख लिया. मेरी इबादत में उसने अपने रब को देख लिया. मुझे एक आईना दिखा गया. मुझे एक आईना दिखा गया. उस आईने के सबब से मुझे ये सिखा गया कि तुझ में वो हुनर है. कि तुझ में वो हुनर है. तुझ में वो बात है कि ना जाने तो कितनों की चाहत है. ना जाने तो कितनों की चाहत है. और ना जाने तो कितनों के लिए एक नया बदलाव की शुरुआत है. Thank you so very much, and this is just for Anika. Back to love.
So much. Thank you. We have a very special guest amongst us today, who's here all the way from Darjeeling. His name is Utso Pradhan. He's created India's first zero waste village, and he's on his way of creating 7 of these villages. They've already created 3, right? I was having a chat with Utso last night. And what I really liked about what he said was, there's this, he understands the urgency of climate change. But if only you are in reverence of nature, then everything else flows from that space. So that's what Utso struck me the most. And his organization is called TD. Take it easy, easy does it. And this was another thing he said. He said, you don't always have to try so hard for something, right? It can be easy. It can, otherwise you'll have a burnout. So National Geographic made a film on TD, on the organization, which won an award at the Filmfare Festival in California, the Redwood Film Festival. So his work is very powerful. Should we have a little bit of the film first? And then he's got some exciting activities planned. He's sticking to the format of performing arts, which is going to be exciting. So let's have the film, yeah?
Good design is of absolute necessity. I think for inspiration, we don't have to look further than Mother Nature, because she is like the greatest designer that is ever there. And even though you would see that she never functions in a straight line. There's a lot of curves and there is a lot of long winding path that she takes, which is like an inspiration for us also, that getting from point A to point B just does not mean that you go straight. You can have multiple pathways. So when you create those multiple pathways, you kind of keep building synergies along the way. And that is the synergy or the connections that help you build a very resilient system. We go by the name TED, okay, which stands for Take It Easy, Easy Does It. It's a permaculture project where we are trying to work with Mother Nature in trying to improve the ecosystem around where we are. The initial goal of TED was to set up a place where people can come in as travelers and also learn about the local culture, let it be an immersive experience. They can stay in a local hut built in a local indigenous way. Where we are located, this was a dumping yard. So we set up this project to ensure that with what we are doing, we end up making the place better by converting this wasteland into a food forest. We're trying to encourage the local species to grow wild on their own and also to encourage biodiversity in the place. And while doing that, it's not just about, when you say land, it's not just about land. You're trying to work with, of course, water, you're trying to improve the air quality, and a very significant thing is you're trying to improve the quality of life of the community also around. So when you look at permaculture, it's based on very basic principles of earth care, people care, and fair share. So that's what we're trying to implement, the ethics of permaculture out here.
So when Anika first called me and she said, okay, there is this program called Return to Love, and would you like to come down and talk about what you do? I was a little anxious and I was a little worried, thinking that I might not be the right person, because the work that we do sometimes, and the talk that we give, ends up becoming a wet blanket. You end up putting people down when you talk the truth. And when it comes to the climate change, actually not the climate change, climate crisis, there is a lot of facts that we don't know. And the more we know about it, the more almost like it becomes like scaremongering. But then I thought about it. I said, please give me a couple of days. And that's when I realized that, to correct the wrong, you really cannot turn the other way. Right? So, and I've made that mistake in the past, and I've gone through a period in my life where I was very, very angry with the world, with what they've done to the mountains, to the rivers, to the forests. And at some point of time, I stopped connecting to people. I connected more to the trees, or to the animals, or even to the microorganisms when I was composting. But then the best thing, the beauty of life is that it's circular, and I managed to kind of, let's go back, not yet, yeah. Yeah, so this was me about 15 years ago, and I think what had happened was I was so engrossed in trying to climb the ladder of success defined by GDP or whatever that you call it, till the time that I realized that the ladder was leaning against the wrong wall. So something wrong. I mean, I was 25 years old, I was pre-diabetic, and there's something that was wrong. And that's when I realized that, to correct the wrong, to bring back love, what is it that is needed? So if I may ask all of you, what would be the opposite of love? What is it that cancels out love? Hate, indifference, right? So the first thing that strikes us is, yes, hate, right? But I agree, it's not really hate, it's apathy, right? It's indifference, it's apathy. So I think what has happened to us when it comes to our relationship with Mother Nature, and I call it Mother Nature every time I refer to environment, because she is really our mother, and this planet that we call Earth is actually our only home, and there is no planet B. So I think what has happened over the years in terms of we trying to adopt a sort of growth model, we've become apathetic towards the world around us. And what's surprising for our great civilization as ours, our Indic civilization, is our founding father, Mahatma Gandhi, had said, and mind you, this is in 1928, he had kind of put out a red flag when he said that if we are to follow the Western model of development, we will be stripping the world bare like locusts. So he had put out the red flag. And it is not that we were not, creating before. It is not that we were not, expanding into doing new things before. It is just that now the way that we are doing it is actually putting our roof on fire. So for me, I think the journey became a little personal because after 18 years of living the city life, I went back home to Darjeeling, and one of the first things that struck me was none of the children were playing in the rivers anymore. That was the first thing that struck me, because for me, growing up was splashing around in the river, and my mother literally dragging me out and said, "Come back home." But it was about, being that oneness with nature. And we set off with this goal of trying to revive one particular river. So we call it the Save 8 Mile Khola. And it started off with that particular project, and we based ourselves on top of a dump yard, and it had been like a dump yard for about 20 years. And we decided to pick every bit of plastic that was there, and we continuously on the other side started planting trees. And for me, also the journey was within, where I was trying to discover my own potential as a human being, because I think that's been the theme out here, where all of us, all of you all who came before me, I think the theme was, how do you explore yourself as a human being? How do you get to your highest potential as a human being? How do you return to love? Because without love, I don't think it's possible, right? So when we started doing that, I think the journey happened as such that I started discovering what was wrong, right? So just to give an inkling of what's wrong, let me ask a question again. You can raise your hand, okay? You can raise your hand if there is no one in your family who's got diabetes, blood pressure, or gastroenteritis. Please raise your hand if there is no one in your family who's got diabetes, blood pressure, or gastroenteritis. Please raise your hand. Now please look around. Who hasn't yet for your mind? Yeah, who hasn't? Yeah, okay. Just one hand. Okay, two. Thank you. So that's the core of the problem, where the more we grow, the more we realize that something is wrong, where we are growing, we are getting everything, but then how is it that we are dependent on tablets or medicines to survive, right? So with my own personal journey that you can see, right, with like double chin and maybe a triple chin, I started looking at what is it that makes us feel alive, and then we came to the conclusion, which has become the vision of TD, which is true wealth is actually just as simple as pure air, where you can just go outside and breathe very deeply, take a deep breath without any hesitation, okay? Pure water or fresh water that you can just drink out of the streams. And then what you could also think of is then related to that rich soil, right, from where a food comes. Okay. So connected to that, I've got a little gift for you guys. And this is from the forest. You guys must have received one of these, right? So this is, you must have heard of avocados, right? Yeah. A lot of that comes into the market. A lot of the food that we get into the supermarkets, you really don't actually have the nutrient value. Okay, this is one of the wild foods. So we started promoting a lot of wild foods. We started value adding the agro-produce. We started working with farmers and actually foragers. It's interesting because to have this fruit, okay, you have to give it love. Okay, how you do it is on your table, what you do, while I'm talking, you can just give it a nice little rub. Okay, it won't be ready till you kind of give it a little rub. Okay, don't do it too hard, just a little soft. Like they say, TLC, tender loving care. Okay, and once it becomes soft, okay, then just hold it. Okay, don't rub it anymore. But this is a wild avocado, okay, that you get only in the hills of the northeast and maybe some parts of China. You don't even get it outside. But trust me, one of this is equivalent probably having about 10 of those big avocados. Okay, so a little gift for you guys from the TD forest.
How do you actually take care of this?
So it just grows wild. So the thing about food, real food, is actually you don't grow them. You know, just create an environment or just take care of the soil, the food grows itself. So this is just foraged from the wild. Okay.
When can I eat it?
Once it becomes ready for you, you have to give it love first.
Okay.
Yeah. And what happened for me was, as and when I started doing this, I started exploring my own body. And if you go to the next slide, this is a picture about a month and a half ago. And you see the time here is 1:38. Okay, it's 1:38 at night or early morning. And we had started the run at 6 a.m. in the morning. And this is in the forests of the Western Ghats. It's called the Malnad Ultra Run. It's supposedly one of the toughest runs in India. So I thought, okay, let me just go out and test whether it's actually working on my own body or not. You know? So this is after running 19 hours in the forest, okay, and this is after completing 100 kilometers. So that's the capability of our bodies, and we can always regenerate. And I'm not even athlete. I'm not even like a so-called runner. I just love running, and I thought, okay, let me just go and participate in this race. So that's the real. If you go, and I think the next slide, you will realize that it gives you a joy in such a way that it becomes a connection that you have with the soil, okay, with water and with air. Okay. And how we are all connected is actually very, very interesting, because we, in a way, are nature. You know, nature is not something that is beyond. Nature is something that is within. Right? Sometimes we tend to think that, okay, environment is the other thing. And when you look at the World Environment Day or the Earth Day, you'll have a lot of placards that come out that says, save environment, right? Or it says, save Mother Nature. Okay. Let me just put out the fact out there. No matter what the situation is, we are too inconsequential to be able to save the environment, right? So we are what we are. The Mother Nature that is there will keep on doing what she's doing. Okay, but right now, we need to save ourselves. We don't have much time. So, if you guys would like to be with me, okay, let's go through a very quick exercise, okay, of trying to see how connected we are, right? Let's close our eyes, okay, and it's just a quick 2-minute thing, and let's do a thought experiment. And in that, what I'll do is I'll ask you to take out your palm and I'll ask you to tap. That's all you got to do. Okay. And let's start with first closing our eyes, and I'll take you through a very short journey. Okay. Yeah. I can know if you're cheating. Yeah. Let's close our eyes. Okay. Let's imagine for a moment that the skies outside are completely dark and dreary. Okay. We need the rain. We need it really, really badly for it to wash down the pollution, for us to be able to breathe very freely. We walk out and we look up to the trees. We don't even see the birds anymore. The birds have stopped chirping. We need the rain. We need it very, very badly. And you walk along and you realize the air is thick. There is a lot of particulates in the air. And again, we need the rain. We need it So you come together and you realize that for the rain to come, all of us have to come together and correct the wrong. So let's extend our palm forward, or left palm forward, all of us. Take the right index finger and please start tapping. Yeah, keep tapping. Keep tapping. And let's take another finger, or middle finger, and let's start tapping. Keep your eyes closed. Faster. Keep tapping faster. 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 Okay. Okay, let's slow down. Again, let's tap it once again, faster. If you're doing it really honestly, you could probably feel droplets of water. Maybe it's already raining. There is magic in what we do. Thank you everyone for being such great folks. So, and thank you our set of volunteers who became part of this. Actually, the water that you guys had was one of the purest water that we drink from the streams. It is the mountain water. Okay. And with that, I'd like to end my talk here. And just a glimpse of, sometimes we tend to miss the big picture, even when it's staring right in front of us. Okay. So with just a small act, okay, I'd like to end it. So for that, I'd like to call my new best friend, Nirvan, okay, and the other gang of boys. Yes. All of you can read what's written there, okay. And sometimes within that word itself, there is a lot of mystery hidden. So yeah, you guys can all turn that side. So you can start reading from here. What's there? From here, what's there? Earth, are you sure? Earth, okay. Okay, turn around again. And my best friend, yeah, so let's turn around again. So to return to love, even with earth, it just has to come from the heart, and it's already there within us. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Utso. I love that last bit. Everything was beautiful, but the last bit especially, I think, is going to stay with all of us. Now we have the last act for the day. A group of people who worked really, really hard last couple of weeks. This is from an NGO called Manzil, which is run by Ravi Gulati. Ravi, are you here? Yes. So can I request everybody to get, you can start preparing the stage. I'll be in the front, so you guys can keep doing what you need to do. Ravi, can you also come on the stage? We'll talk by the time they set up. So Ravi is an IIM graduate, and he left his job in Canada, and he left all of that to teach children from government schools. His story has been really inspiring. And Ravi, I'll really like, by the time they set up, just to say something for 2 minutes. We're very, very happy and privileged to have you here today. And I think what he's doing, if I have to summarize your life for me, it is that you're sowing seeds. So that's what you're doing. And it's grown, and there are a lot of these enterprises that are growing from Manzil. They have 7 offshoots now.
So I run this non-profit that I co-founded with my mother 25 years ago. I look younger than I am, so I'm over 50 now. And the reason is that I'm always surrounded by children and young people who are full of so much enthusiasm and new ideas. And I don't know if I'm giving anything to them, I'm gaining a lot. But this idea of sacrifice and giving doesn't really work with me. It's just looking at what you value more. And I sometimes say, you know, I run a non-profit, but I make enormous, enormous profits. It's beyond count, the amount of profits I make in blessings. I have so many people's love and blessings. I'm like a grandfather with no white hair, because my children have had children by now, and they're coming to Manzil. And the whole idea is to, you know, and I think we've seen it today here, with everybody who came here. It was so heartwarming that every single person is a complete universe in himself or herself. And the only thing I can correlate with, and I'll end with that, is a couplet from Kabir. Boond samai samund mein, jane har koi. Samund samaya boond mein, jane birla koi.
Yes, so we have a musical theatre. The offshoot of Manzil, which is going to be presenting now, is called Manzil Dramebaz. And the band that is going to be playing is called Mantash Band.
Okay, do this.
तुम्हारी मस्ती से किसी को प्रॉब्लम हो रही है तो वो मस्ती नहीं है और तुम्हें तो कौन पसंद नहीं करता, सबके फेवरेट हो।
बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है इतने सालों बाद।
Celebrating our unique gifts with purpose and creative outlets is essential for personal fulfillment and social enrichment. Each individual here possesses a distinct set of talents that contributes to the tapestry of human experience. Embracing these unique gifts allows us for self-expression, innovation, and the cultivation of diverse communities that are present here today. Whether through art, music, literature, or scientific discovery, our creative outlets serve as vehicles for communication, reflection, and understanding. So by honoring and nurturing our individual abilities, we not only find fulfillment but also inspire others to explore their own potential. This celebration of uniqueness fosters a society rich in creativity, empathy, progress, understanding, ultimately shaping a world where the collective expression of diverse gifts propels us towards a more vibrant and harmonious future.
Thank you so much, everybody. We had an amazing, magical afternoon. But I really want to thank our two voices of inspiration, Utkarsh and Alankrita. You really made this afternoon so meaningful, I would say. With your reflections, it really added so much gravitas to the whole thing.